Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm talking about something that is a very emotional topic for a lot of people. It is the area of sleep, how to get your baby to sleep, and more specifically the area of letting your baby cry it out, controlled crying, verbal methods, all that stuff. Those of you who will be familiar with my blog and kind of like how I like to do things will know that control crying and cry it out and all of that sort of stuff is not really my style. It's not really how we do things. That doesn't mean that it's not okay for you to do it. That's just my opinion. It's not something that works for us, and it's not something that I would ever consider doing. When I was pregnant, I never really thought about sleep. I never considered the fact that when you have a baby, they don't really sleep well, and you're therefore not going to sleep well either. It didn't even cross my mind. My whole, I suppose, energy was put into just being pregnant and having a baby, and just that our life was about to change and it was going to be this amazing time, which it was, of course. But I suppose if we're lucky enough to have a baby again, I wouldn't expect sleep. For me, sleep was just a given. I just thought, well, there's a couple of months of, you know, your baby having night feeds and kind of being up a lot at night time, and then the sleep will just happen. And for a lot of babies, mine included, that's not really how it works. Personally, it just would kill me to hear my baby crying to the point that he just cannot cry anymore and falls asleep. I wouldn't want to be put to bed that way. Of course, I would probably fall asleep after a certain amount of crying. It's not a nice way to fall asleep. Books, Gina Ford, for example, strict schedules when it comes to kids, strict routines, and she would be very much an advocate of letting your baby learn how to self-settle. I'm here to let you know that there is another way of doing things. You're very vulnerable when you have a baby and you're listening to all these stories of baby sleeping and you're wondering, okay, I need some sleep. I feel so desperate for sleep. I'm actually quite depressed because I'm not getting enough sleep, because that is what sleep deprivation does to you. It makes you feel like the world is a dark place, and you'll do anything in those moments to get some sleep. The house will fall down around you. You'll end up eating probably really crappy convenience foods because you just can't be bothered cooking. That was just me. I was just too tired to think about anything other than getting sleep where I could. So exhausted. I still never ever considered doing controlled crying or cry it out. Some of the methods claim to be more gentle than others. Some instances you don't pick them up and you just reassure them that you're there, and then you close the door again and you wait 10 minutes and you go back in, and read enough to know this is not something that's going to work for me. I think if I'd done it for 3 to 5 days, would Billy sleep? Probably. He would know that I'm not going to come when he cries. If I did do cry it out or control crying, he would sleep better, and he would have slept better from a younger age. But that wasn't something I was willing to do. That is not something me and my partner were willing to do. We want to take on more of a nurturing approach to him sleeping, more of a holistic approach. That's not to say somebody who does cry it out or control crying is not nurturing their child. Like, of course they are. Everybody does what is right for them, but for us it was not right. These methods say that you shouldn't do them till your child is 6 months, but even like Jeannie Mac, a 6-month-old, is so tiny and young and so dependent on you and to respond to Billy when he cries. That might involve being up a lot at night time, picking him up out of the cot, cuddling him, rocking him to sleep, basically doing all the things that these books will tell you not to do. But for me, when I became a mother, I didn't really care what the book said. It was an instinctive thing, and I just knew what I was cool with. I don't think cry it out or control crying is something you could sort of force yourself to be comfortable with if you're just really not. I responded to Billy when he cried. If he woke at night, I took him into the bed with us. That was never an issue. They were like really like special times for me. Exhausted to the point of tears. Just plodded on really. We ended up buying a rocking chair when Billy was like 15 months old because he loved to be rocked to sleep. Mums out there who were watching this thinking, your baby doesn't sleep as bad as mine did. It obviously wasn't as bad as it is for us. I promise you, he was awful. He woke up, like, he could wake up 10 times a night, and I'm talking about after being, like, you know, his first birthday. I'm not talking about, like, just don't expect sleep for the first year, in my opinion. They just need you a lot, and you just have to go with it. It's just part of the journey, I suppose. There are people that will tell me it's because you took him into the bed, it's because you rocked him back to sleep, it's because you didn't teach him how to self-settle, and all of those things, and that's fine, and that's their opinion. I don't feel that way personally. I felt happy about the fact that I responded to his needs during those times, and I just trusted that one day he would sleep better, and he does now. Like, it's so amazing to be able to report that. But I just knew in my gut feeling that one day he was going to sleep better, and that it would happen naturally, and we would know what to do and when to do it, and that's exactly how it happened. Changed as he developed, as he learned. And got to 18 months, he was so much more comfortable sleeping himself. He used to, I would like go into him and like listen for a second, and he would just roll over and go back to sleep. We took a gentle approach, and that doesn't make me better than you better than me. Like, this is just my experience. I want people to know that there is another way of doing things, because there is a lot of pressure on women and men from society, from your parents, from your aunts and uncles, from the media, from your friends, telling you this is how you teach your baby how to sleep. If you don't do that, it's your own fault. You're gonna have to deal with the consequences. Your baby's not going to sleep well, and you only have yourself to blame. Crappy attitude, and I just would hate for somebody to feel that they were forced into doing something like that, and that they were being a bad parent, because I hear a lot of that language as well. People saying, you know, you're being kind to your baby by teaching them how to self-settle. Like, you know, they need a good night's sleep. Like, to making you feel as though you're not providing for them something that they need is another way. If you feel that it's not for you, don't do it. For us, co-sleeping was magical. It worked for us. It was great. And even like with breastfeeding, I'm still breastfeeding him. He's almost 23 months. He just has one feed before bed. I don't feed him at night time. I don't feed him during the day. And I never forced that to happen. It just happened naturally. It's a hugely personal thing, and it's a very emotional topic for people. That is your choice as a parent, and we all do what is best for our kids. I am a very anxious person, and I like a routine. I like to know what's happening. It was never about routine for us. It was never about wanting to do things differently. Somebody who's sitting at home now thinking, I'm so desperate, I don't want to do control crying, and my child is never going to sleep. Just trust me, they will. He sleeps all night, just one quick wake up, and I'm like a new woman. It's amazing. We did that just by listening to him, trusting our gut feeling, doing what felt natural, and forgetting about the books. Just responding to his needs and listening to our own, and in the end we got there, and he sleeps, and it's amazing. Trust me, it's, you know, it's so worth the wait. I really hope this video was helpful to somebody. It might have just given you food for thought, if nothing else. Thanks a million for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and also to Channel Mum. If you go to Channel Mum website, you'll see lots of videos about control crying. You will hear people who've had really good success with it. You'll hear from people who are very much anti it. But I think it will definitely help you, and it's coming from the mouths of real mothers with children who are experiencing it from day to day, not the textbook baby, not the author who knows it all, just real mums, the honest face of parenting. So thanks a million for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!